Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays.
Rebel soul child got a fist ball, I'm a respawn of ancestors, and I'm blessed, They gon' knock him, tell him fess up, I get check stub, hella carefree, nothing scares me, hella reckless, yeah, I got next up, right, now we not the same, can see when I look in your iris, you likely to talk but not ready to ride, you do better keeping it quiet, my pen is ignited, my soul is enlightened, I like who I am, but I'm biased, the palette is right, and my drip is a fountain, I'm not like these regular guys, all of that talk is misguided, she like the way I make the tape print, but the way I make the words play is grim. I'm the reaper reaching for the kill switch. The label cut the check like the bladesman. Something sparking where his brain is. The beat is somewhere where they prayers in. Geronimo, the way I make the bass jump when no parachute is tasting.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Throwing Hands. My co-host, Josh. How you doing?
What's up, man? I'm doing good. Just been working nonstop, doing the hustle. How about yourself?
Sounds like the story of life, man. I can repeat the
Yeah.
same, man. That's all I've been doing lately. Just working. But it is, one of those good weeks of the year. We call it Fight Week.
Yes, sir.
It's here. It is here. This Saturday, December 20th, Celebrity Gear, Rough 51, going down. I will be there. Josh will be there. Should be fun.
Oh, hell yeah. Did you say December 20th or December 10th?
Well, I'm not sure what I said now that you asked, but regardless of what I said, it was supposed to be December 10th.
That's hilarious. Hey, that's how you can tell it's already at that time when we're supposed to be winding down. It's like my brain is already in shutdown mode.
Right. I just got off, had a little
Yeah.
scarf down some food real quick,
Yep, exactly. But yeah, it's fight week, ladies and gentlemen. We got Rough 51. Friday, we're going to be doing the weigh-ins. You'll be seeing me there doing some pre-fight interviews. And then Saturday night, we got the fight events themselves. And boy, am I excited for this card. We got a whole lineup here.
Yeah, no, it's a good one. Good way to end the year. I mean, they had to make it a good card. I mean, we just got done with rough 50. That was a smackaroozy.
Yep. Back in October, and now with the December, they gonna really kick it in with that holiday season.
Oh yeah, man. Definitely. What do we got? We got one title fight.
I think so, as far as I know, because I know for the fans that haven't seen much of the updates with Patrick Baughman versus Brooks Callahan, that fight did get canceled. Unfortunately, Patrick injured his MCL, but I think they did find a replacement. I'm not sure if they were actually able to lock it in. I think his name was like Christian something, but hopefully they do have that locked in.
Yeah, I have to check and get an update on that, but no, I can't wait regardless. I hope Pat gets well.
Yeah.
That's not cool. He worked hard to get back for this, not just for this, but just in general from his last knee injury. So,
Yep.
Pat gets well soon.
Yeah, me too. I felt so bad for him because during the the holiday weekend, I had him over for a poker night. Same with Steven from Rough Nation. So we were just chilling, and like his knee was like feeling it, and I felt bad. So I was like, damn, I really hope he doesn't have to pull it out. 'Cause this was before the announcement was made, but it was just in training. He threw a kick, it popped, and then boom, it was just the pressure. He had the pains, and I was like, oh man. So as you said, all the work that he's put in over these few months, and then now getting the opportunity of fighting for a belt. And see, the bigger significance I thought about too with this was if Patrick would have won, if he would have safe fight, and then he would have won the third ever MMA champ out of Havasu. Third ever. There's only been two other people, which was Trenton Byers. He was the Havasu City born champion. And then I forget the other dude before that, but that was like years ago. So for that to happen when he had this opportunity and like his chance to like, especially like really stamp his name in the history of like Havasu. Only for that to happen, I was like, bro, I feel so bad. Poor guy.
Yeah, no, it's messed up, man. And he worked, like I said, he worked hard just to get back into the gym and start training again the way he normally does, and then
Mhm.
to get in fight shape again so quickly. He did a lot. He did a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, and Brooks, he was super respectful too. I loved his responses. Even when they had that like little banter with like Brooks' brother on Instagram, he was super respectful. And when the announcement got made with the pullout, he was just like, "Hey, hope you wish you better, man. Hope you feel better, and you get back to that grind." So I liked how Brooks handled that as well.
That's good. And you know, probably had a lot to do with the way, again, like you were saying that he handled it initially.
Hmm.
How he holds himself. Like everybody just loves Pat, man.
Hmm.
But here's what we're talking about. Doors open at 5, 7. Yeah, but this is gonna be a good one, man. It really is. You can see Humberto again.
Yeah,
So
that one I'm especially excited for.
hmm
And we got a lot of new faces to the rough scene, or at least in a while, because a lot of these guys I haven't really seen too much lately on the rough scene.
yeah, me neither. Most of these guys, well, there's a lot of them. Like actually, we were talking about before we got on. Shoot, I might as well share that right
Oh, yeah, you gonna jump with Joseph Perez?
now. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I believe Joseph Perez versus Malika Chavez. I believe that's going to be the first fight of the night. It's going to be amateur 170-pound catchweight bout.
So Joseph Perez has one other bout before this on record. Well, according to Tap but it was in a Muay Thai fight. So it was a Muay Thai fight, ended in split. So he won. Looked like it went the whole way. Yep, main card, 3 rounds, went full over 3 rounds. Um, versus Cindy Elaban. I don't know who that is. However, so I didn't find a lot of, I should say. But something interesting that I did find on him was I
Mhm.
ran across his YouTube page, and on his YouTube page, we did come across this. And
Ooh,
this was actually a really good watch. So let's go ahead and play that back.
got some backyard fighting.
You're not banging, boys. Let's go. Let's go, Joe. Be smart, Joe. Be smart, Joe.
So, the first thing that I immediately noticed with this fight is look how comfortable Joseph looks versus how rigid the other guy is.
Yeah.
Those hands, baby. Put those hands up.
Even though Joseph kind of has his hands down.
Oh!
Oh!
Hadouken. Giant kick.
Damn. Oh, yeah, you could tell he's still wobbling from that. Like, he's still trying to wake up.
Yeah.
Wow.
I did come across that. So that was good to see. According to his YouTube channel here, and some of the other videos he's posted of different things he's done a lot of Muay Thai. He's done a lot of MMA. Which is crazy. So he has it here. He's according to him, he's 14-7 in jiu-jitsu, 2-0 in Muay Thai, and then this will be his MMA debut.
Interesting. Okay. So he kind of comes more from a jiu-jitsu grappling background predominantly, but he's got a mix of that stand-up. And clearly with that performance, he's got hands and he's got legs.
Right. So maybe he's been, doing his jiu-jitsu thing for a while and decided, he wanted to incorporate more striking and move towards MMA. Um, that might be kind of what we're seeing the evolution of that. So that should be interesting. That should be interesting. He's a
Yeah,
rough
because
dude.
yeah, exactly. Because you see, like the way that he looked a lot more fluid compared to that other guy. He was more fluid. You could tell he's more comfortable, just kind of feeling himself. That other guy, he was very rigid. He was very low on his center of gravity. And I feel like Joseph, he picked that up, and that's why he landed that head kick, because the dude's guard was like sticking out. He was keeping up close.
And he stiffened up on that little spinning back kick he did, which probably also had led or influenced that head kick to come out the way it did too.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm excited for that one. That's going to be an interesting one. And I think Maliki Chavez, I think it's also his amateur debut as well.
This is his amateur debut, according to Tapology as well. So he has a 0-0 record. So we're seeing 2 MMA debuts at Rough 51.
Nice. And based off with some of the stats that we got, he's 6'1". He's going to be fighting a welterweight. I think they're going to do a catch weight of 170. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting because that's also pretty tall too.
Yeah. It should be good, man. It should be good. I can't wait to see it. I like to watch the debuts because you either get the guy that's kind of freakish nervous on the way out, and you can kind of see it, feel his energy and stuff, and then he goes in there and just unleashes, or you get that guy that is flamboyant, showboating on his way to the ring, to the octagon. He has his fights all ready. He's singing loud, engaging with the crowd, and ends up getting tore up. So I like.
Yeah, I like interviewing these debut guys too, because like I forget the dude's name. What was his name? It wasn't Brandon Lesky, but the guy that fought or Neelam Markham. I got to interview Neelam Markham. He was back at like Rough 48, and it was his amateur debut. And I love picking these fighters' brains on what their mentality is going into making their amateur debut. What even got them interested in wanting to officially make this pursuit into the career. And every time, like I asked Neelam, I asked one of the guys from MMA Lab, and it was just passion. They just love the sport. They love what it's about. They love what it teaches you as an individual on a fundamental level, and just the thrill of it too.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these guys are just ultra competitive as well, and I think that goes a long way into it too. Is just that challenge, that that competitive spirit. You want to keep it going. A lot of these guys have wrestling backgrounds, want to continue on with something in that that field that gives them that adrenaline rush, and ends up being this way too.
Yeah, exactly. And then I know I forget what was the other. I think the other debut fight that we have also is Marco Cerna versus Kyle Neal. I think Kyle Neal, he did have a record. He's fought like 1-4, but I think Marcos, he was doing his debut. Is that right?
Let me double check on that.
I know one of the downsides is like when you're working on this low of a level, or I want to say low of a level, but starting out at a level like this, when you only have such limited information with these new fighters coming up, we almost just like have no choice but to wait and see how it unfolds, wait and see how they act, how they're composed and everything. And yeah, based off what I'm seeing, Marco Cerna, he's debuting. Kyle Neal, he is 1-4.
Yeah, that's another debut. That's another debut. So we got 3 there. Another one.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say another one I see is Kurt Benjelli. He is also gonna be making his amateur debut at 155 against Danny Flores. Mhm. Honestly, just looking at the stats of a lot of these fighters, I really like the matchup of them because you don't have like too many fights on it from what I see that's like pretty lopsided where you got somebody with like 10 plus fights or something like that and somebody else who only has like 2 or 3. They're honestly pretty consistent across all of it, which makes it very interesting.
Yeah, no, and kind of going back to what CJ was saying on our interview with him, Jason is a very, very, very good matchmaker, and he he sets up these shows to where you're gonna get a great show. You're gonna get a great show because the fighters are set up so well. They're paired so well together.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. We have Omar and Fred Sanuga. Those are both rough debuts. And
Oh yeah.
I have Omar.
Yeah, and see Omar, he's 0-1 right now. You got Fred, he's 1-0. So they're pretty matched up. Like these people, they're only like a 1 fight difference away from each other.
Right. Here goes another highlight. This is the Omar versus Terry Lyles. This is his first
Oh, he got some great wrestling. He was easily able to just take him down. Okay, he's in like a weird side control, and then he's getting on the back. Get that rear naked. All right. Oh, hey, look at that MMA stalker.
So he actually lost that fight. So that should be interesting. Like I said, we saw wrestling, we saw some good, and we saw some bad on it. And then seeing the ground and pound results that got brought in. His opponent is Fred Suniga, and that's another guy that's making his rough debut. He is 1-0.
Yeah. Looks like they're competing at 205 as well, so it's going to be a light heavyweight amateur.
Yep.
Interesting. What would make interesting with this fight in particular is because in Arizona we haven't really been seeing a lot of light heavyweight amateur fights. I wonder if it would make a connection with fighting for that light heavyweight belt.
Eventually, huh? Because
yeah,
you're right. There's not a lot of. We haven't had a lot of fights, a lot of fighters in that weight class.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of catch weights teetering around that weight class, but no.
Like strong light heavyweights that are staying consistent in that division.
Right. I didn't think about that. Introducing, and like you said, these are both 2 brand new guys into the circuit, making their rough debuts. So you're right. This is his opponent.
Oh, he's fighting Chris Mangiapelli. We just saw him at the last event. Oh.
What'd you say?
Oh, the guy that he's fighting, Mangiapelli, he fought at the last event against Derek Abernathy.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, I didn't even catch that at first.
It was his chest tattoo. Oh. Yeah, notice he's got hands. He's just trying to get out of that. Okay. So far he seems pretty comfortable on his back. So there's
going hard for that submission too.
Oh yeah, there you go. See, that was a good reversal because like throughout the video you see he's kind of getting a bit more taken over on wrestling, but he managed to reverse that. Ooh, that was a nice reversal. He just kind of like flipped him over.
All three judges score for unanimous decision. Out of the red corner,
Oh, okay. So Chris won. Oh, Tapology got it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So that makes this even more interesting.
That should be interesting.
And wait a second. He's really fighting at 205? I got to double check that.
Yeah, because that video didn't make sense compared to that.
Interesting. Yeah, because on Tapology, it actually doesn't even show him fighting Mangiapane. It shows him fighting Manny Lopez, Freedom Fight Night 2.
That's what that video is supposed to be. I think the video
Interesting.
might be wrong.
Yeah, and see that's kind of the. Oh wow, yeah. So they do. Wow, they have it wrong. Wow. See, that's kind of the, like I said, that's the pain, the good pains of working on this low of a level is that it's hard to find the right content, the right fights without it getting mixed up with other stuff. But then we just gotta wait to see it in person. Yeah, because I was gonna say he was looking kind of small for a 205er.
Right. When I was looking at it, I was like, man, see what you did in the last couple months. Wow.
He ate shits and Oreos. Yeah. See, with this one, this was another one I couldn't find the dude's fight specifically, but I saw a quick clip of it.
You like highlights knockout tonight.
And we got MMA Stalker again with it. Should be about halfway through what we see. Marina Tari.
Her.
Then Bradley Burston. I remember he was one of the first guys that fought Patrick in the rough scene. So it wasn't this one. I think it's the next one. There we go. Greg Foster. He just spits it out. Yeah, so that was the main guy in that video was Greg Foster. He's going to be fighting pro against JJ Nelson. I think is actually interesting the fact that they're fighting at a catch weight, if I remember correctly, of 150. So that's going to be an interesting matchup because you have JJ. He is coming off of 2 losses, both rear naked chokes. And what's also interesting too is that the last 2 opponents JJ fought came from the MMA lab. Greg Foster, same. So he's literally fighting a bunch of people from MMA lab.
Yes, you are correct. It is a 150.
Yeah, so I'm interested with that one because Greg Foster, he's 1-0. That was his last fight that we saw on WFF 43. And if I remember correctly, it came to a decision, a unanimous decision. But like in that video, he caught him, he dropped him, so he's got hands. He has good stand-up from what I could see. And, he's training at the MMA lab, so he's going to be all around.
So the other pro fight, Osama versus Pedro. I actually got Osama's fight pulled up here already. So go ahead and cue that.
Yeah, that was one of his. I couldn't find his newest or his most earliest fight, but this one was could have been a few years ago.
Big ups to MMA Soccer, guys. If you don't know, check them out.
So you see right there, he's maintaining good control against the fence. He's using his body weight too. Yeah. And see what happened just right there was that he overlapped the blade of his forearm over to push off the control that the dude had, because he had him both hands locked around his neck and tucked in. So he used his elbow to break out of it.
He uses his weight very well.
Mm-hmm.
This is his corner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see right now, he's trying to kind of loop around and grab his left leg. I assume he'll probably do a takedown, but right now he kind of bandaged, just kind of working ground and pound. Oh, that got reversed. And I think this was Osama's one of his amateur fights.
I need that choke. Give me that choke. Yes.
Oh. So right now he's working on guillotine.
Let's go. That's it. That's it. Good. Crossface and put him on the ground.
Got some thigh action going. Modeling 2022.
Keep working.
Gotta turn that corner. There you go. Get that right leg behind that left leg. Behind
Man, that's a while ago too. Rough 38. Wow.
Counter.
There we go. Oh, where the heck is?
Watch that though. When he was rushed in, he dropped that head. In the hand.
Yeah. Right now, I know right now, Osama Awadallah, he is 0-1 right now as a professional. Same with Pedro. Pedro, I had found his stuff, and it's like a quick little short, but he ended up getting taken down 22 seconds in the first round. I think it had to have been either uppercut or hook that got him. So this is like another great matchup where you got two guys there. I won't say necessarily ring rust, but they haven't been in the cage as frequent as I'm sure they'd want to be. But they're both coming off of a loss and only one fight in as a pro. So I feel like this is a really good matchup.
Let him make the mistake. Let him do it. Hands in the feet, go. Hands in the feet, go. All right, let's set up the face. Set up the face. Yeah. Good. Punches, man. That's it. Break those hands down. Let's hand fight. Osama, you control. Hand fight, control. Get your hands off. Put him down. Put him down. That's it. Put him down. No. Get it. That's it.
You just slapping him right there. Hammer fist, then he just kept going and going.
Well, I said you can't take too many of those.
Yeah, that's Stockton slap it, gay boy.
If you don't want to take NyQuil, but you want to go to sleep, that's a quick way to do it.
Got them hammer fists going.
Right.
Yeah, that fight I'm especially excited for because it's gonna be they're fighting at 185, which is a weight class we haven't seen too many fights lately in the rough scene. So I'm excited to see another fight in that weight class and see what avenues it opens up.
Yeah. That light heavyweight, welterweight, we got a lot of heavyweights.
Mm-hmm.
Welter and
Yeah, I feel like so far in the fights we get a lot in Arizona, we get a lot of the heavyweights, then we get a lot of like some like welterweights, then but we get a lot of like flyweights, featherweights, a lot of that lower class, the lightweight division. 'Cause that just seems what's the most exciting right now.
I don't know if this is the most exciting necessarily as to what is most common out here.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I definitely want to see, especially 2023. I want to see a lot more diversity of where like we're getting a lot of these fighters from because like Marco's from Washington, we got some guys from Louisiana, Mississippi, Chris Mangiapelli, he's from New York. So I think the more diverse of a fighter group that Rough gets, the more excitement we're going to see. And hopefully it'll open up some more of these divisions too. Because like the light heavyweight division right now, just like going off top of my head with you looking at Omar Fimbres versus Fred Suniga. Either one of them are going to be either 0-2 or 1-1. And that could open up for a fight like Christopher Topo, for example, who lost last time to Patrick. Maybe that could be a build-up fight for him to whoever loses this match. You got a good variety going right now.
Yeah, especially since Pat's out, it kind of does put Chris back in play right away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that ended in the first round, and just recently he was in a jiu-jitsu tournament, so I feel like he could come back in pretty quickly.
Right.
Then here's Pedro Uga. Oh, and then bing, 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 boom, boom. Oh, kick on the way down too.
He's seeing Tweety Bird.
Yeah, so that now what I'm curious is because you know that little 22-second clip right there with Pedro, he didn't really have his hands up. He was like he almost seemed like kind of hesitant and skittish almost to get hit because he like quickly like jet back a bit. So, but this was a few years ago.
He had that opening too.
Say again?
It was almost like he was surprised he had that opening.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm curious how their matchup will be because I feel like based off what we saw with Osama fighting what was it, Brandon Webb, he made a lot of clinch, a lot of like heavy control, especially against the cage, and he wasn't afraid to throw hands and mix it up. But we got Pedro based off what we see so far. He seems kind of hesitant, like little keeps his hands down too low. He's like more antsy, trying to bounce around and everything. So that one, I do kind of lean Osama a bit. What do you think?
Yeah, just watching, like you said, from the little bit, just the clip alone, Osama, he's gonna throw his weight around. He's gonna impose his will on the situation. So yeah, I agree. I got Osama in this.
Yeah. Now, what do you think of this one? I'm especially excited for Avery Brightwell versus Derek Frida. That one I'm really excited for.
So Frida's my guy. I like Derek. I think we talked about that before. I just like his charisma. I like what he brings to the ring, and he's a great fighter as well. He's coming off of a loss.
Yeah, against Besnagashi. Very close loss too. It was a split decision loss.
And Besnagashi is that guy. You know, you can't be mad at that He's a killer.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I actually think that Derek's probably pissed. He hits hard already. So I got knockout for Derek in this one.
Yeah, I know. Because right now they're both coming off of a loss. You have Derek, that split decision loss against Beznik-Gashi, because that was a tough fight. Derek, he had Beznik rocked a few times in the first round, but then it just teetered off until ended up getting that split decision loss. Then we got Avery Brightwell. Last time he fought was against Giovanni Salazar, and unfortunately, it didn't go his way. It ended up being a 7-second knockout in the first round. It was actually the fastest knockout in rough history. So I know he is especially pissed too. I feel like these guys got chips on their shoulders, especially, but I feel like Avery really does, because I know he could do better than that, and he just got caught. He got caught super early. It was a flash knockout. So I feel like he's coming in this to really make a statement.
Yeah. I agree. I don't think Avery is a bad fighter. I agree. I think he got caught. He had to, man.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. And I think Avery, he's like 5-3 or 5-4 right now. And then Derek is like 2-1. So like that was like one of the very few outliers where there's a bit more of a gap in their record. But just based off the last performances, I would have to lean Derek as well. Just based off the last performance. Because I mean, we don't really have much to see off of Avery, and that could have just been a fluke flash knockout. But with this fight, this one right here, Beznik versus Derek, this one says a lot.
Ladies and
This
gentlemen, this fight is
was
sponsored by Nova
a-
Home Loans. If you're having trouble qualifying or finding a home right now, don't
Oh, there you see my red shoes at the bottom.
Dave Velvet really likes saying Beznik-Gashi.
Beznik is such a chill dude too. When I had him on my podcast, super friendly, down to earth, really cool dude.
Right now, don't tap out just yet.
Yeah.
Local
He's
lender, not a
definitely-
broker, has over 10
when I
years
met him at the
experience and
weigh-in.
knowledge. Thank you, Nova Home Loans. Referee Al Guiney,
155 pounds.
Derek Freda, Beznik-Gashi.
I don't know what's going on here.
Wardrobe malfunction.
Oh, they're both red tape.
Wardrobe malfunction. How did they do that?
Oh, I actually remember that during the fight.
Yeah.
There was the little like red tape issue.
Hey,
Mhm.
155
Yeah,
pounds.
it started out quick.
Both fighters orthodox.
They filled each other out like right away.
Wow,
Derek
with a straight right.
sized him out right away.
Wow, and
Look,
look
Yeah.
at
Sized him right away.
Power. We talked about his
And that's
power.
that
Good
the
feints.
reason I was talking about earlier.
Good,
He hits
good feints
hard.
from Derek Freda.
Yeah. And he was constantly clean with that 1-2 on Beznik in this first round. Because he caught him again right there.
He
And I
can't
know
walk.
too, I remember talking to Beznik. He was explaining to me that in this first round, especially, his perennial nerve on his back foot was like still trying to recover from injuring it leading up to this fight. And Derek Freda was able to capitalize with not only being able to land that 1-2, but just the lack of mobility that Beznik had at that time.
Overly
And you can
concerned
kind of
with
see it
though.
now that you said that.
Take
he
down
started
attempt.
it out. He couldn't go
Back
backwards
out there.
very quickly.
Mhm.
Nice knee.
Yeah.
body. Both guys are scrapping in the clinch here.
Oh man, too bad you can't throw
Ooh,
elbows.
nice
Nice knee.
Gashi trying to get close. Freda trying to keep
Man,
the
these guys are
separation.
swinging. Great action at 155 pounds.
Very
And
straight right
Gashi's
hand.
still coming
His
forward.
cross is
Still
nasty.
coming forward. Still
Oh, he's
trying
a
to push.
forward
Yeah, it
fighter.
is.
He likes
And it
press.
kept on landing this first round. He was just constantly picking them 1-2, 1-2, 1-2.
I anticipated fireworks. Now Beznik-Gashi.
Over the top there.
Ooh.
And with this overhand right.
Yeah.
Beznik has got the reach advantage.
So
I
you
don't
can
know
tell
what
too, he has,
have out there.
I don't know if I'm misreading it, but almost like more of like a boxing background with how he's like kind of bobbing side to side. Then how he catches that overhand right.
Pushing forward.
Yeah.
He is the one
He puts
pushing
his
forward,
hands-
but it
his
seems like
hands
the
in
power
the
advantage
He's trying
definitely goes to Derek
Let's see,
Freda.
let me go to that second round.
really well.
This is when Besnick.
That
Look, he
speaks a
got
lot.
back to
Mhm.
his corner. His corner's gonna, give him some affirmation. They're gonna
Yeah,
work on
I know
the-
Besnick. He's he does a lot of striking, a lot of boxing, kickboxing, but he really loves his jiu-jitsu. And I feel like that was a very big factor that led to this loss against Derek, or with Derek, because Derek was having trouble with it. He was in danger a few times with the rear naked choke, and it was that jiu-jitsu domination that Besnick had that ended up getting that split decision win.
You could tell him when he went back to his
You just
corner, they
keep
told him,
pushing
like, hey,
forward.
he
Nice
continued
front
that
kick there
1-2,
by
take
Derek
him to the
Freda.
ground.
I love the short
Yep.
Derek Freda, by the way.
He immediately came out with that clinch, and then I think right around here was a scramble, and they ended up on the front line.
And Frida's boxing looks
Oh,
sharp.
good.
Oh,
Derek Freda.
Sharp.
Nice again,
was
3-2 by Derek Freda. Front
Well,
kick
hey.
by Gashi.
There's something out of Gashi.
Bink.
There you go. Nice jab. That's what he needs.
see,
to
now
do.
you see Besnick starting to try to finding more of his range now too.
He's got the reach.
Nice front kick again.
Another cup check. Another cup check here.
That's what we say in the.
Gashi's starting to come forward with
Right
the
here.
that momentum, that pendulum. Oh,
Oh,
it looked like he was starting to take over. And
see, and you got to be a tough motherfucker to take those shots from Derek, because I was hearing them connect at that fight.
Oh, takes the back of Derek Freda. Takes down Derek Freda. Tries
This
to
is
take the
what
back.
it is now.
One hook. Two
Boom.
hooks.
And then this is where the jiu-jitsu started coming in. And Besnick was explaining too that like these moments where he was getting in his spurs with his legs, that he would get pain in his perennial and he'd have to pull his leg back out, so he wasn't able to have like a full body lock.
Kind of see it right here, this one right here.
he's doing a good job
Mhm.
fighting the hands. He's only got 30 seconds left.
Yeah, this left hand.
This definitely is cement around for Gashi.
Yeah.
So we
And Derek, he showed great defense too.
Oh yeah, he had that thing sunk in at first.
Let's go.
Mhm. He was able to pull that other hand down and then break free and get back up to the feet.
Very fun
And
exchange.
then he survived the rest of that round. And he came out here with
Good
third.
striking here from Gashi to open up
Mhm.
round number 3.
See, you know what sucks for me though? Well, like when I watch this fight and I'm thinking about the 155 division,
This pressure though.
is that when I make my amateur debut, these are the kind of motherfuckers I have to fight in my division.
Hey, man.
I'm not.
Oh! Oh!
So that'd be all nice, and sweet. Fight Derek Freda, and ended up getting my fucking lights knocked out.
Yeah, that was dope. Those are the reasons why I like
Derek Freda's too nice.
Grizzly shit. He was dope.
Mhm. He's got good sportsmanship, and he's all about having fun. The beginning of the fight and at the end of the fight, he had a smile across his face.
For an outside trip. And he gets it.
Gashi gets it, but
This
Freda
is
back.
when he went. No, that was a good fight. Like I said,
Mhm.
I got that one as well. I'm going Frida.
Yeah, that's gonna be an epic one. I'm excited for that one. And then I know our boy Humberto looks like, based off what I'm seeing, he's gonna be the main event with Manuel Medina, and that one I'm especially excited for.
Yeah.
I couldn't really find anything on Manuel. I think he's like 1-2 right now. I could be wrong, but based off what he's 1-2. He is 2 unanimous decision losses and then 1 triangle choke in the first round. So that one I'm curious about.
There's a triangle choke in the first round.
Yeah, I think that was his second pro fight that he had. His first pro fight was a decision loss. Second one was a choke, and then his last fight before this one was also a decision loss.
Who was he fighting? Who did he fight versus that?
Who did Manuel fight?
Yeah.
Let me see. What's it loads? Kevin Fernandez. Yeah, because he was fighting, his last 3 fights was in LFA, and so he fought Kevin Fernandez, which was a decision loss. Then before that was a triangle choke in the first round against Chance Wilson. I noticed too, he only had 1 amateur fight. The one amateur fight ended with him getting a third round KO as well. Yeah, him, it was kind of hard to find anything on him. Like, I've noticed LFA, you can't really find their fights on YouTube. So I wonder if you have to go on Vimeo or something like that. Yeah, but who are you trying to find him right now? Who do you got though between them with Manuel and Humberto? One lie, because the fact that I haven't really seen, I can't find any footage of Manuel. I'm going with Humberto.
That's not why I'm going with Humberto because no, I'm going with Humberto. I already knew how serious he was, but after our interview, talking to him and seeing him speak his passion, it's easier to go into a cage and get a rush of adrenaline and show some passion in it. But to hear him speak his passion and why he does what he does, I think he has his head on, he's focused, and he's after something. So, I got Bertho.
Yeah. Yeah, and he trains too with Adam Ortiz, who we had on, which I hope his fight is still on. I didn't see on any Ruff's posts like Facebook or Instagram, but I mean on Tapology it still shows that their fight is on. So, out of Tucson, they got some good guys.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right now, Tucson's been doing it. Got the Lab, got Javi, got Bakers. Yeah.
It's those Arizonians. We're a different breed, man.
We are getting it in, sir. You're taking over.
Yeah.
Who was it that just won this weekend from Arizona? I forgot his name. I think he fights at the Lab.
Wait a second. Which promotion?
I believe it was UFC.
That's a good question. I think he's on the tip of my tongue now. I think I know who you're talking about. Let me pull it up.
Right now.
Dude, I was so bummed about Tai Tuivasa getting knocked out. The first bet I ever do on King's Draft, I put $5 on Tai winning, and then he loses. And I'm like, fuck. Well, there goes $5.
So you're the reason he lost?
Apparently, I got that Chael Sonnen curse.
I was mad about that fight, man.
Were you?
Yeah, I was so mad about that.
Dude, first round knockout from Sergio.
Eric.
That I wasn't expecting at all.
Eric Anders.
Who?
I think that's who it was. Eric Anders.
Anders, let me pull it up. And he just fought in the Thompson versus Holland, right? Let's see.
He's in the middleweight division of the UFC.
What was his name again?
He's fighting damn. Maybe it's not him.
Okay, yeah, because I'm not finding him at all. At least not on the
ERYK Anders. That was his name. He was on the. Who was it, man?
Oh, Eric. Oh, okay. Now I know who you're talking about. Yeah, Eric Anders. Yeah, so he fought on. He was on the main card and he fought Kyle Dawkins and he won a second round TKO.
Yeah. I don't think it was him though. I forget who it was.
Interesting. But yeah, no, we got a bunch of fighters here in Arizona that just, again, as we keep on saying, it brings a different breed. You got fighters like Good Cannonier, Sean O'Malley. Henry Cejudo, all coming out of Phoenix, the Phoenix area. Then we got our boys Adam and Humberto down in Tucson. Dude, they're popping up literally all over the state.
They really are. Speaking of which, what did you think about that Holland fight?
The Holland fight versus Stephen Thompson. I didn't get too much of the fight, but I did see that was a doctor stoppage because of Holland breaking his hand. But based off what I saw, Stephen, he kept on connecting. His experience and the craft of his technique, from what I saw, was a little overwhelming for Holland. Mm-hmm. And how old is Steven? He's like, what, 39?
He's up there. He's shit. Holland's up there too.
Yeah, I think Holland, he has to be like maybe 34, 35 years old. Are you looking up their ages?
I think that it's gonna be hard for Holland after this. Holland is born in '92.
Oh, so he's just like 30 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was born 4 years before me. Yeah, so he's still like just like in the peak of his prime.
Thompson's like 39.
Yeah. I know Thompson, he had cracked a joke that he wants to be the oldest person to ever compete in UFC.
He's on his way. Well, shit.
Yeah.
What was Randy Couture?
God. I think, wasn't he about like 50?
Mm-hmm.
He had to have been like 48, 49 or something like that.
I think he is one of only two over the age of 40 to have won the UFC championship.
Mm-hmm. The other guy should be Glover Teixeira, right?
Yeah. So he did it 4 times. He had to be going on 45. So
damn.
He had to.
See, and it's like when you're in your 40s, that's when the gradual reduction of not only your performance as an athlete, but also the cognitive abilities start to decline. And that's where you start to see the effects of the older compared to the newer guys who are sharper, more agile, more quick and everything. But for the fact that those guys like Randy Couture, Glover Teixeira are still competing at that age, dude, that's how you know you put in a lot of work. That doesn't just come through raw talent and just freak genetics. That comes from the consistency of your craft.
Wow. He retired and came back in 2009.
Yeah, he fought Tim Silva, right? For that belt.
Yeah. That motherfucker, man. Randy Couture was a beast. He was a beast.
I remember him on Expendables too. That was actually, I think, just like a little bit after when he fought Tim Silva.
But I guess it's time to wrap it on up. Any last words, Josh?
Say again, you cut out.
I said, I guess it's time to wrap it up. Any last words?
We gonna have a badass weekend, that's for sure. Again, everybody, you gotta check it out. We got Rough 51 this weekend. What's also cool, I'm gonna go ahead and plug in another episode of mine. This week, I'll be having the house photographer from Celebrity Theater, Matt Locks, on my podcast. So that should be publishing soon. And then we're going to see him as well on Rough 51. He's going to get some great photos.
Yes, sir. And I think we're having CJ's birthday. So shout out to CJ.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, happy birthday, CJ. How old are you, 22 now?
Right. Push 21. Would you rather?
Exactly. Benjamin Button.
Yeah, but other than that, man, yes, I agree. Rough 51 Saturday, it should be a good one. I will be there. Josh will be there. We'll have some fun. We'll see some knockouts
Hmm.
and see some of our guys, some of our former throwing hands guests pick up some W's. So, should be a good one.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And if you guys stop by the theater, make sure you come on. Don't be afraid to approach us. We'll take some pictures.
Say what's up. We'll be there.
Exactly.
That's a hot dog or something.
We'll do a little sparring in the ring. No.
Right. Yeah, but until next time, I'm Jay,
Yes, sir.
my boy Josh, and this is Throwing Hands.
Yes, sir. We'll see you guys.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we're making up plays. We're talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
Rebel soul child got a fist balled. I'm a respawn of ancestors and I'm blessed, They gon' knock him, tell him fess up. I get check stub, hella carefree, nothing scares me, hella reckless. Yeah, I got next up, right? No, we not the same, cause see when I look in your iris, you likely to talk but not ready to ride. You do better keeping it quiet. My pen is ignited, my soul is enlightened. I like who I am, but I'm biased. The palette is right, and my drip is a fountain. I'm not like these regular guys.